Hi, and welcome to the BTM Club in Conversation with Music Heroes. As usual, we've got great people in the arts, whether it be acting, music, even politics. They all come through the BTM Club, so it's great. Now, we've spoken to this guy before, a great UK talent, and it's always a pleasure to speak with him. Look at that smiley face, Mr. Malcolm Joseph. How are you?
I'm great, Barry. Good to see you again.
Nice to see you. Well, it really has become this state of out of sight, out of mind. I only hear from you when you got a new single coming out. You know, I don't even get a hi, how you doing? Nothing, you know.
I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. How have you been since we last spoke?
Busy, keeping it together. Been on the road with Grace again after nearly 3 years. We've been touring a little bit. That's come to an end the beginning of October. I've been recording my album, Ground.
Now, we've all skipped a bit quickly forward. For those of you who haven't seen this guy before or saw the first interview, Mr. Malcolm Joseph has got quite a pedigree, Hackney boy.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, as we said before, so much talent from Hackney, and you're working with Orphy Robinson and Cleveland Watkins, of course, who we know.
Yeah.
Yes, Hackney boys, all Hackney boys, amazing talent. But this guy is a bass player, and I, not reading my notes the last time, turned him into a drummer. But, you know.
I remember that, yes.
He's actually a bass player. Yeah. So let's give us a bit of your background with the bands that you were in and bringing us to where you are today.
At the beginning of my career was being in a band called Seventh Heaven, which was in the mid-'80s.
Right.
We had a few little chart toppers there. And we ended up supporting people like Womack, Cool and the Gang, SL,
Right.
and did loads of different TV things. And that was the beginning of my career.
Right.
After a few years, the band split up, and then I was available to do stuff. And then the next step was I was approached by a guy called Sean Oliver, who's the late Sean Oliver, who is the brother of Andy Oliver, the cook pundit.
Yeah. Andy Oliver, indeed. Antiguan Andy Oliver.
That's right, yes. And we worked together, myself and Sean, and he introduced me to Andy to do some work with her, and we kind of formed a little band together.
Right.
From there...
What was that band called?
It was called Andy Oliver's Elastic Band. Andy Oliver and
Elastic Band. Okay.
Yeah.
You seem to have blocked that name out of your head.
I'm trying to remember. It was the Electric Band. No, it's Elastic Band. Yeah.
Right.
And then from there on, I got approached by Cameron McVeigh, who manages and works with Nana Cherry. I've known Nana for a number of years prior to that.
Right.
I ended up working with her, did a few live shows with her and her brother, and a few little gigs here and there. And then from there on, I ended up playing and working with Massive Attack, which was 1991.
Right. Now, this is it. But I mean, even going back to Andy Oliver, because, you know, I think these shows are really not, and I'm going to bring her on. I'm going to drag her on eventually. It's just nailing her down. But I think it's really good when you get the background of these people, because a lot of people probably don't even know that Andy was in a band.
Yes, Andy's was a great singer, was in the band back in the late 70s, early 80s called Rip, Rig and Panic, which she was in the same band with her brother and Nana Cherry. So it was
right. Yes, because you realize there's a close relationship between her and Nana Cherry.
Yes,
you know?
very close, yeah.
They're real sisters. They really are sisters, and it's beautiful to see. They're so supportive of each other's projects, etc., you know? So it's really beautiful to see. But, you know, not many people know that Andy comes from a musical background originally.
Yeah, she's an incredible voice.
Yeah.
Amazing performer. Yeah, she's from a musical.
And diversified, which I love.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, yeah. I was always expecting her to be doing some acting sooner or later, but
Yeah, that she diversified. So yes, now everybody knows Massive Attack. Excuse the pun, but Massive Attack were massive. So tell
yes.
us about your years with them.
Uh, well, at the beginning, when I first got approached by Cameron, Nana's husband, he was managing Massive Attack, and they just finished up doing Blue Lines,
Right.
first album. And I sort of knew of them back from the days of Bristol, from the Wild Bunch and their sound system and stuff. So it's a place, like I see that I've kind of worked out that you seem to be really good at putting bands together for artists and stuff. And would you be up for putting a live band together to actually put Massive Attack out there to present them as a live band?
Right.
And okay. So, yeah, I sort of MD'd that, and I worked with them not very long, for about nearly a year, and we did a few live shows, live TV shows and appearances, like Top of the Pops and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Yeah, Massive Attack were indeed massive.
Yeah, it was at the very beginning.
Yeah, so that was the name. So what did you do after leaving them?
After Massive Attack, I sort of got into doing a bit of session work here and there.
Right. As a bass player, guys, okay? Forget my faux pas. He was never a drummer. Bass player.
Bass player is a good one. Oh, just hold a second. I'm just going to turn this off. Yes, as a bass player, I did a number of sessions. I did a lot of sessions with various club acts, and, I recorded on Sky Edwards' solo album for More Chiba. I've worked with her, and just various other things, bits and pieces all the way through.
Right.
And then after that, I sort of got into more recording and producing. I had a recording studio based in Stoke Newington in Hackney, London. And
Hackney again. Hackney.
Yeah, it was Audio Underground. And I set up a studio there, became partnership with the rehearsals and recording studio. And I was a resident recording engineer producer. So I recorded everything from Senegalese to punk rock to everything. So I spent time there.
Eclectic, if nothing else.
Yeah. So I kind of took that under my belt and ran that for a few years. And then I made a call to a friend of mine, I have a guest, just off the cuff, just to see how he was on MySpace.
He told him to find out who he was. He's never messaged me to find out how I am. See, I'm taking this down. I'm making notes, okay?
I'm last of this, am I, Very? I know.
Never.
And I got in touch, and we got, he was surprised to hear from him. I hadn't seen him for about nearly 12, 15 years. And then I said to him, I see on your MySpace page that you've got Sly and Robbie and Grace Jones. And I said to him, she's still alive, And he laughed, and he said, yeah, well, funny enough, I've just produced her latest album. And he says, I might have a proposition for you. Would you like to come and meet me in London? And I went up to London, and he played me the album, which was just about to be released. And he said, she's got a couple of live shows, and I've been looking for you for years, and I could never find you. And I think you're the perfect bass player for her. And got into a rehearsal rooms with another band, with a whole new band, which included Donnie and Donnie's brother. And
right, because Donnie, again, a guest on the BTM Club show, he was the MD, right? At one stage?
He was the MD at the beginning, before the bigger band came about. And there was an MD now for the band, who took over, a guy called Charles Stewart.
Right.
We did one show. We did the Meltdown Festival at the time, which was curated by Massive Attack. And it was the first time Grace had actually been on performance with a full band and an album for 25 years.
Yeah.
And long story short, I'm still with her nearly 14 years later.
Wow. A good relationship.
Yeah, she's a great boss to work
because for. Really and truly, it's not easy being on the road, even when you get along with people. It's not easy being on the road.
Oh, it's
all.
Yeah, so it's people think it's a lot of glamour, but a lot of it is quite boring. And it's
You
like,
know, the tour bus and the
yeah,
getting off stage and running to the hotel or bringing your stuff from the hotel with you to the gig and then jumping on a tour bus with your suitcases to go to the next city. That's
oh,
reality.
that's it. That is the bare reality of it all. And
Mhm.
it's been fun. It's been really, really good.
Yeah. I mean, as I said, I only hear from this guy when it's a new single. So obviously, you know something's coming, right? You know something's coming. But his last single was Robotronics. That was the project, wasn't it? Which came out on was it 30th of July last year?
That's right. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And how was that? How did it do?
It did all right. It did good. It got a lot of airplay. It got, a lot of people were seeing what I was getting up to for the first time over years. As far as recording stuff, I hadn't done an album since 2005. And it was like something to start me off again. I've been pressured and hassled to get things out because people are hearing stuff. And it's time you got some music out again, Malcolm. And I thought,
Yeah. But I like from what you said the last time we spoke, it was, you just write material and you put it there and you write material and you store it up and then you draw on it when you need it. It's almost as if you've got a stash of hazelnuts like a squirrel,
Yeah, a squirrel away loads of demos.
Exactly, So this new project, is it a single, an album? What is this new project?
This new project is my second album.
Right.
It's called Ground. It's on DistroKid and it's all on various platforms like Spotify. At this moment, it's out now.
Right.
So during the COVID, we were about to go on tour. COVID came, and then we had the lost years, as they say.
Yeah, I mean, the funny thing is they were pretty stagnant years because obviously we weren't out and about running up and down and doing as we normally did. Yet still, those 2.5 years seem to have flown by.
Yeah, they've gone quick.
You think, well, we're now at the end of 2022. This whole mess started beginning of 2020. But where have 2.5 years gone? You wouldn't even mind if you were that busy because with everything shut down.
Nothing to do. Where did that 2 years go?
Where did those 2 years go?
Yeah.
The lost years. I like that definition.
That's what I call it. It's the lost years. Everyone was lost with that one.
Yeah.
Yes.
But as we said the last time, a lot of musicians like yourselves use the time to write a lot of material.
Yeah, and got together, and luckily we had internet still, so that was a saving grace as far as communications are concerned, because a lot of people were locked away.
Yeah.
And a lot of music.
It was great that you could still do your collaborations, but different format, but you could still do your collaborations.
Yeah, and we succeeded with that, and got contacted a few people, threw a few demos their way, and say you fancy playing on it or getting involved or do some.
Yeah.
That's how it built up from there.
Fantastic. So the new project is called
Ground,
and comes out. When did it come out?
It came out October 26th.
Okay, October 26th. And as usual, it's available on all platforms. Is there a website?
The website is a DistroKid. You can go on Spotify. You'll find Malcolm Joseph Music on Facebook. Malcolm Joseph on Facebook. You found Malcolm Joseph on Instagram, and you'll find it all over iTunes and Spotify.
And as I said last time, he's using his own name, so he's easy to find, right? Malcolm Joseph, easy to find. No excuse not to go on Spotify and all the usual platforms and purchase. So which platforms is it on apart from Spotify?
iTunes,
Okay.
I think Track Source, and a couple of others, all the other kind of...
right, across the board, the regular platforms.
Yes.
Right, okay. Well, we wish you all the best with that, mister.
Thanks, Barry.
You heard it, Grounds.
Malcolm Joseph.
BTM CLUB show, Mr. Malcolm Joseph. Get out there, get clicking, get purchasing.
You'll love it.
Yes, as we did the last one, the Robotronics project. I
Yeah,
do still love that name. That's in my head, Robotronics. So
Robotronics, yeah.
it's going to be very hard to replace Robotronics with Ground.
On there, it's on the album. It's on
Okay.
it's on the album as well. So
Right.
really good new tracks on there as well.
So are we doing any live gigs? Are we?
That is in the pipeline for doing some shows next year.
Well, I hope that pipe's not too long, yeah?
It won't be. It'll be coming sooner than you think, Barry. And
Because I know you're not in London, you're in Cornwall.
Yeah, I live in Cornwall, yes.
Yeah. Hence the big jumper, guys. Can you see? And I don't know how many layers he's got under there. He did actually start off saying, God, it's cold.
It's the wind. It's the wind. I've just got back. So it's quite windy, and when you get the chill on the wind, that's the one.
So you'll be having some London gigs for us, will you?
Oh, yes. Definitely, yes, definitely in the new year, and I will be in touch, Barry. I won't kind of ignore you.
I've got witnesses now. See, he said it out of his mouth. I will be in touch. Okay.
And one last thing is just like to say, I would like to send my condolences to all friends and family of the late Noel McCoy.
Yes, indeed, another soldier down. It just seems to have been the kind of year we've had, but we have to keep our chins up, our heads up. We're still here, and we can still do. Okay, yes. And
that word,
yeah, it's been a difficult year in more ways than one, but we just keep soldiering on.
We have to.
Yeah.
We have
well,
to.
Lovely to talk to you as always.
Thank you.
I look forward for my shout for the London gigs.
You will.
Ground, guys, get out there, get clicking on all the media platforms and all the regular platforms to purchase music, and let's support this guy and get him another hit.
Thanks, Barry.
You are welcome. Lovely to see you.
Good to see you.
Care.
I'll keep in touch.
That's twice now. That's twice, guys.
I might say it again 3 times, so keep in touch.
Because then you'll have to do it.
I have to do it. Yeah, brilliant.
Thank you. Wonderful for you talking to the BTM Club. We really appreciate it. Lovely to see you, and wishing you all the best with the new single.
Thanks, Barry, and good luck.
Take care. All the best.
Okay.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.